and enjoy the teaching as we go move on. Tomorrow is actually our last day. Unfortunately, my professor will be traveling tomorrow, so he will not be here, but it's still okay. It's still okay. Okay. I know where to get him. Okay, so let me just quickly introduce him. Let me put this one down. Okay. Right. Okay. Yes. So I'm introducing my mentor.
Recording
from
in
India,
progress.
Professor TPS Sasikuma. And he will be sharing with us again on wisdom, experience, and knowledge in leadership, which is very, very important. But let me just share with you quickly who my mentor is. You know, I've been crying, craving, and shouting, somebody is my mentor. Now you know. So if you want to join, this is an opportunity for you to learn from my mentor. Professor Dr. TPS Sasikuma from India is a life mentor, space scientist, science communicator, poet, author, educationist, motivational speaker, psychological life career counseling expert, image building, peak performance coach, spiritual master with Himalayan tradition, conscious living commune associate, exponent on India heritage, philosophy, Bangad, the Gita, Sanatana, Dharma. So far since 2000, for the past 22 years, reached to more than 1 million each teacher, parents, and students. That's where we got the TPS. Professor Dr. TPS Sasikuma, to hundreds of interviews, has attended hundreds interviews on TV and media, discovered TV with Kumba Mela Talk, acting in short films, and I think that makes my two doctors and professors in the house familiar with one another, because both of them, they don't only teach, they also act, they also write. So they are multitask. Okay, so TEDx talks, UNESCO talks, and many talks. If I should move on, 48 hours non-stop classes, 6,500 students in a section for 6 hours, 50,000 public and 1,200 BTech in section, and special to Dr. TPS. Professor covered physically at Fiji, UK, USA, Gulf, Hong Kong, every nook and corner of India. 2 years, over 1,000 virtual sections, including regular master class in UK, Leeds, Philippines, Science in Technology and Management, South Korea, interaction classes, apart from online mentoring and educational workshop across the globe. More than 3.2K videos reaching 6.4K, the 1,000, I think, subscribers on YouTube. Having experience with Vedic tradition from Brahmase, KPC, science from Himalayas, Raman tradition with Hamada laid swelling with Bharati, all those stories. Heritage from traditional guru. Dr. TPS is into five-fold holistic development with esteem, philosophy. Dr. TPS worked as a scientist in space department for 2 decades. He worked as director of UGC, academic staff, college, and went on to serve as a deputy director at the Directorate General of Security Cabinet Secretariat, New Delhi, before taking a voluntary retirement in 2009 to serve the society. Associated with university as professor, head in mathematics and Management and Executive Director of Engineering College. Through Collaborate Social Responsibilities Advisor at Soba Developers, Executive Director of SNGCET CSR on Education with Soba Developers, and being Founder Director of the Guardians Public School, and being CEO of Siska Grammar Child Care Foundation made innovative model in youth education. I'm sure my professor, my mentor, will not allow me to read all his profile, but give me an honor to share all his profile while we invite him to start speaking. So he is the published author of title Realms of Life, Life Made Simple, Life of Love, Adaptive Learning, Emotional Intelligence for Corporate Communication, Seedling, to name few. He is regularly international guest speaker and also a media contributor. Okay, this is the important part of it. It's got so many awards, and I just want to share his information so that anyone can connect with him direct if they want. And if they struggle, they can also go through yyci.academic@gmail.com and we'll be able to refer you to him. But let me just quickly share with you www.drtps/shikSHA.in. Its telephone number is +91 944 743 7948. And his email is drtpsasikумar@gmail.com. And if my other professor, Dr. King J. Inku, wants to connect with him, you will not regret connecting with him, because he's a great mentor, great leader, great professor, and also a very, very humble leader. And he has so many resources to use to mentor any category in this world. So if you want to connect with him, this is the open invitation. Okay, so let's welcome Dr. TPS. You are welcome, sir.
Namaskaram. Thank you, my sister, Professor Queen Elizabeth. A month-long stalwarts from different streams of subjects and world around. It's almost a marathon.
31 days.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm traveling tomorrow morning, early morning,
It's
3
okay.
o'clock. I have to start.
Wow.
I have to inaugurate a hall which is going to be dedicated to the poor people for conducting programs and all that.
Okay.
And that is too far from Hyderabad, the other extreme end of India, south northeast corner, around 2,500 kilometers away. Beautiful topic, which I missed last 2 days. I was supposed to talk on 25th, 26th.
Yeah.
Wisdom, experience, and knowledge in leading. Leading for what? Leading for transforming relationship, transforming mindset. Just before my talk, my brother Dr. King was talking on SDG, Sustainable Development Growth. How can I start my lecture immediately after that, instead of mentioning how wise people look at sustainable development growth? A wise man always thinks about not his growth, his companion's growth. So what is SDG for a person with wisdom? Win-win solutions. That's actually the word. Shared success. My success is my friend's success. I cannot grow when my people around me don't grow. So I have to make them up. That is actually leadership. So sustainable development growth talks about not me becoming rich, and I have a purpose of my life. No, balancing profit, balancing the purpose. Let me share the purpose of my life, not to me alone. And there was a beautiful question by my sister. How do I make it happen? What is my responsibility as an individual? It's very simple. How do I make a lasting impact for somebody who is working in my house by paying daily wages? Daily wages he is paying. He is not a salaried employee. He don't have pension, but he serves me for some time. So how do I make a win-win solution? Win-win solution is make sure I will give him something which he can remember me after 20 years, even after parting from me. His family gets benefit out of all that what he does for me. So that means I give a shared success. I have been enjoying his service. So what should I do to my servant maid? What should I do with some attender who is helping me? What should I do with a law employed person? He is law employed because of his culture, his financial situation, his family situation. He is from a different environment. It is not his mistake. I am in a position not because of my fortune which gave me because of my good actions. I've been blessed to be there. So I should share that blessing, that wisdom, and that is what is transforming relationship. If you have that mindset, what are you doing? You are becoming more wiser and wiser. That doesn't come from knowledge. That doesn't come from certificates. That doesn't come from experience. Wisdom is a different. You may have 20 years of experience. All the time you are harsh. All the time you are not wise to people. All the time you are not nice to people. You are selfish. All that is possible. Still you can say, I am experienced. I can have a lot of decorations of certificates framed and kept. But I am not even helping one person around me who want to learn something. I remember when somebody who serves me in the house as a servant maid, his son was not attending schools. Not attending schools because his father was forcing him to work so that he get 100 rupees. 100 rupees is 1 pound per day. He was getting 1 pound per day. So I was telling him, I am going to ready to give you 1 pound. Don't send him for work. Send him for schools. And what I did was to test him, his integrity, his attitude, his mindset for learning. That is most essential. Otherwise, he may go to school, but he may not study at all. Or how do I look after whether he is doing it, his attendance? I cannot monitor every day. So what I did was, I gave him nearly 400 rupees, that is 4 pounds, for which you can buy a dictionary. And I asked him, go and buy this dictionary. Come learning 3 or 4 words and its meaning. Then from today onwards, every day you will get 100 rupees, 1 pound. Right. So you cannot just trust people because your experience says that. That is why wisdom, you cannot apply wisdom to everybody. You have to evaluate. A beautiful, I don't know how the topic has been put in lot of thoughts, or maybe I am thinking in those topics in the ways which has to be thought about. Wisdom is good, but wise people are always in trouble in a world where lot of cheating happens. There is a saying that I am so wise and I can't live in a world of all the thieves around me. I have to, or maybe if I have to live in this world of thieves around me, I must know how to be a thief. I cannot be a wise person. And the biggest problem for a wise person being a thief is he will be caught very fast because he don't know the trick of hiding his theft articles. So the experience is a great activity which makes your wisdom where to apply, when to apply, how to apply, who to give, how to give. All this is to be known. So you need a lot of experience. Otherwise you will get cheated. A wise people will have always problems because they don't know what to do, where to do, whom to help, when to help. The other day somebody telephoned and told me that there is a medical emergency, some money can be contributed. I said, immediately give all the details. I am going to send somebody to the hospital. From there they will get a government scheme is there where you get 4 lakh rupees. It's $400,000. I'm sure that is good enough for somebody to get a treatment. Any treatment up to that is given free by government. So there are a lot of cheaters around, especially in the world of social media. If you don't use your knowledge of the system which is prevailing, the rules which is available, understand which system you have, what is the government procedures, what and which hospital is good, know the environment around you. All these are knowledge. So you need to have knowledge, you need to have experience, add it with wisdom. Otherwise, this tripod is what is the bedrock, the strong base for a leadership. Ye leader require all this. The foundation stone of leadership is wisdom. Wonderful, not enough. It has to have the cement of experience and it has to have the brick of knowledge. Then the foundation become much stronger. And for that, when you do it, you can evaluate people. Relationship is not having contact with everyone around you. Evaluate him thoroughly. Understand whether it worth talking to him, whether worth spending time with him. Managing your relationship. Once you start a relationship, you don't know how long it will stay. How many years. Otherwise, every moment which you spend becomes like putting all effort in a flowing river, which just goes. Nowhere it will catch. So your relationship should be invested with a lot of wisdom, experience and knowledge. And that can transform somebody's life. And that person will have a good contact with you for long years. Yesterday night, midnight, I was talking to somebody. The child wanted to talk to me on where to study, what to study and all that. I said, without I know your family situation, suggesting some education doesn't work because I don't know whether you can pay the money or not. So what we did was the whole family discusses. It is not individual to individual because we have a strong family system. The relationship is weathering away. Today I had a talk. A senior professor from a national institution, his daughter talked to me saying that failed in all exams so far. Studying engineering college in a national institute, but failed in all exams. I don't know what to be done. If I tell my father finished, there will be a lot of chaos at home. So how should I project this? How am I going to stay with all the problems? This needs a lot of relationship building. The transforming relationship in a chaotic life. In modern world, everybody's expectation is the highest. Your ability to create a beautiful mindset for growth. Mindset matters for what? Mindset for growth. You say that I know I have done this mistake. I know if I waste 10 minutes in my life, after some time, I wasted 10 minutes in my life for somebody else and find fault with all that this person has done to me. I wasted my time because of this X person, Y person, Z person. That means 10 minutes of your time, 8 minutes you have not used for assessing the other person. That means you are not good. Understand, if I waste 10 minutes, if I invest 10 minutes, I don't say spend 10 minutes, waste 10 minutes. If I invest 10 minutes, let me invest at least 8 minutes to evaluate that person. Any time which we spend for somebody else without evaluating that person is probably there is all chance that you are in trouble. So a wise person understands people. He judges people. He discernment. The word is discernment. Discernment is a smart judgment. An advocate. I am a lawyer. I have got an LLB. I am a legal bachelor. Studied in the university. We keep talking about a judge is a judge only when Discernment is in his hand. His intuition works. Wisdom is intuition. Oh, looking at somebody, I know this person is not right. Maybe I will invest time to set him right first. Then invest my time to make a growth path. If that initial time of 8 minutes to set him right doesn't work, what you can do is probably don't have connections and contacts. This is where you must use your knowledge, your wisdom. That is the foundation. I must be choosy. The world is too vast. I am ready to help anyone. But smart judgment. Smart judgment comes with intuitions. That is wisdom. Wisdom through reflections. Wisdom through learning. I know this person. How can I say I know this person? I know him for last 1 year, 1 week, 1 month. How many minutes? Only few minutes of online? No, not good enough. Online is a world of traps sometimes. Experience is how you take your vessel, your cruisable ship on a growth path with all the currents are troubling you. Not when it's a smooth flow. I can put my boat in a flow, it can go. But world has got lot of rough flow in opposite directions. So I should have the power and the power of putting my life not in trouble because I am going to board somebody on my vessel. When I say that I am also, you come with me, I'll help you. Maybe that needs lot of asterisks and conditions apply. Because if you fail, it is not you are failing. You are also making many other people on board also to fail. So understand, when you have to cross the river, the power of learning from failures. If there is a harsh weather, what am I going to do with my vessel? What am I going to do to control my ship? That needs a lot of adjustments, challenges, resilience. All these are part of my ability, building my strong foundation, my strong vessel to cross this world, converting all my small experience. And that is not theoretical experience, actionable insights. What do I do? I cannot keep calling somebody's help again because all the other people are on my shoulder thinking that they are going to help, I am going to help them. And you become helpless. What is that you are going to do? So it's a great responsibility. Leadership is not a fun. People trust you. Therefore, I am not a theoretical person. I am going to see, there is a great saying. Somebody is taking me on a boat, crossing the river. And the boat rowing person, it's a physical pedaling boat, say. And that person asked, or this wise gentleman with a lot of knowledge is asking the boatman, do you know grammar of Oxford dictionary have you studied? Run and Martin grammar you studied? That person said, no, I have not studied all this. So the wise professor says, your half life is waste. You have not done anything in your life to grow much bigger and higher in your life. Then they asked, have you read the great novels and great textbooks of different people? Do you know Winston Churchill? Have you studied about the presidents and all the queens and all the history of the world? The boatman says, I don't know anything. And the wise person says, your whole life is waste. After some time, the boatman asked the professor, do you know swimming? And the professor said, I don't know swimming. My life may be waste, but still I will live. The boat is going to sink. You are going to die if you don't know swimming. So most important in life is your own survival. Correct. Actionable activity, practical insights. What is that required for me to cross the river is not all the wisdom, not all the leadership, not all the knowledge, the experience of crossing the river, the experience of the skill for swimming across. In case there is a challenge, what am I going to do? What is that action which I can take? So understand, it is not being wise alone. It is the skill the insights, the actionable activities, the in challenge, what am I going to do? Therefore, your fuel for your boat is the innovation, creativity, all that knowledge which you have. Wonderful, very good. But the fuel need to be filled every now and then. That means your knowledge which I got some time back is not good enough. There is a saying, somebody got an axe for cutting the wood. One day he could cut it. He was cutting the wood thoroughly. Next day, nothing is being cut. He is struggling with the axe. And a wise man came and then asked, what happened? He said, yesterday I was cutting with the sword, with my axe. I am able to cut 3 wood by this time. But today, not even half I could get it. So the wise man asked, did you sharpen it? He said, no, I didn't sharpen. I didn't know that it has to be sharpened. Knowledge is like this. If you don't sharpen it, if you don't continuously learn it, what you can do 10 years back is with that knowledge at that time, that growth, that is good enough for you. But that doesn't mean throughout my life that knowledge is good enough. Continuous learning. So knowledge is not a static activity. Knowledge is every moment. And it is not a theoretical knowledge. It's a practical skill. And that practical skill will make you a wiser person. Wiser person is not a theoretical knowledgeable person. That is why in India we have 2 words. One is called Guru. Guru is a theoretical person. Nobody follows him. He is only a paid teacher. In a professor in a college, he can give theory. Not enough. The next one is called Acharya. Acharya is one, looking at him, people will think, I want to be like him. So, Acharya is equivalent to a mentor. Mentor is not someone who gives theoretical lectures. Not sharing knowledge alone. I told you the other day also, I wrote a beautiful book in which how to make money is my title, but I don't know how to get money to publish that book, right? So, what I write, what I speak is not practically good for me. How can I advise somebody, this is the way to grow? No, it's not. So transforming relationship, the leadership, mentoring, relationship building. See, I want to get in contact with anyone in the world today. There is a rule for 6 node rules. I want to talk to President of America. Very simple for me. I can talk to a member of parliament in my constituency. He is a friend of mine. And that member of parliament always can approach prime minister. A prime minister can talk to president. So with the 3 people I can reach. Now assume I don't know the member of parliament. I am an individual who don't know the member of parliament. I should know someone who knows the member of parliament. That's good enough. So that means with the 4 nodes I can reach him. There is a great rule in mathematics. From one person to any person in the world, to reach it needs maximum 6 nodes. 6 contacts are good enough. I can reach out anybody in the world. So relationship building, today it is so simple. Earlier, you have to write a letter, wait for reply. So unless you use all the gadgets of today, all the communication methods today, your impact of relationship depends on the culture. If you are in an organization, organizational culture. If you are in land of wisdom, land of political tolerance, land of political problems, the civil war, nothing stops you. It's all what you wanted to do and how are you going to get connected. Your leadership is an authentic leadership, a trustworthy leadership, creative relationships, empowering and mentoring next generation around you is a great responsibility for all the leaders. Next generation doesn't mean by age. Means who are going to be more prosperous. They are going to make their own life in the next 20 years. Unfortunate that 2015 we got SDG. And today, 2024, we are still talking after 9 years. What is SDG? How are you going to do this? And next 5.5 years, it is going to be over. And if you look at SDG, it's one and the same which was in the UNDP, United Nations Development Programs. Read both. you will realize there is nothing new. But still, why people are talking? Why Dr. TPS gives lecture on SDG? The reason is all the time you have to remind people. Celebrations are to remind people. Christmas is not for each one of us remembers, but the next generation needs to know. Why am I putting my father's birthday I celebrate? My death anniversary of my grandparents I celebrate. Why? That is how I connect this generation to my previous generation. The connections and contacts, remembering people, remembering the principles and policies which somebody had. Maybe 50, 60 years back we had a UNDP, but over a time people have forgotten. It says we need good education. No, education was there, but good education was a great question. Did everybody came to learn everything in the world? Did everybody in this world up to 15 years got free education or not? Every country made it applicable or not? Ask this question. 1 hour of my lecture today here. In India, we have 30,000 kids taking birth and 20,000 people are dying. That means every 1 hour, we are adding 10,000 people to the population. So you can imagine what will happen to a country like this. That is because we have a strong relationship between husband and wife. They produce children, but we are not looking at what will happen to the country as a nation. Every animal produces child only when they realize that this forest has got sufficient food for its kid to eat. Even a wild animal will not produce children unless the animal knows that the child has got something to eat in the forest. But human beings are not like that. Though we call it ourselves as a great knowledgeable person, we are not able to control the feelings, emotions, contacts, connections, relationship. That is why the first few days of my lecture I was talking about emotional intelligence. That's a key connection between understanding and managing my relationship. Empathy. Understand whether when I have a child, do the child has got sufficient food to eat? What am I going to do in this culture? Whether my team of people, whether it can be a family, whether it can be an office, whether it can be a building, whether it can be a factory, I cannot appoint people when there is no sales in the business. I cannot appoint lot of people for production when there is no raw material available. I cannot have a lot of people working for me in marketing when I don't produce products. I cannot start marketing and then telling that I'm going to supply to you and material is not available under me. Okay, when mission is down, I must know what to do. So balancing and all the high performance depends on balancing everything in building up a strong, either it's a community or a family or an organization or a factory or a business or a nation. I should not, when I have to win the election, I keep saying everybody will get per month, you don't work, I will give you $10,000 in your bank every day. I can do that, but how am I going to pay? How am I going to give everybody above 50 years? I am going to give old age pension. Don't work. I can win an election probably, but what am I going to do next day? My economy doesn't permit me to do that. So your performance is not for a temporary. Understand? A leader is not one who makes people happy temporarily. He is one who knows a strategic world. It is not solving problems for the time being. Every conflict resolution is not a temporary solution. It is for me to understand how collaboratively I work with the different institutions around me. How am I going to navigate my ship with all the difficult situations? How am I going to make sure that everybody is happy, not now, throughout his life? Am I going to take all the resources in my available? I have got a lot of oil underground. Shall I do that, dig everything and then sell it today in the next 20 years? What will happen after 20 years? So I must know how to put ration. Ration is the word to be used. I know how to control. I must know how to make petrol, diesel, all that fuels, I cannot sell it in every shop. Why is it not being sold in every shop? I must know that it is not that easily available. I must drive 10 kilometers to get my diesel, my gas. That means I know it is not that easily available. Otherwise everybody can get a license today. Got it? I must regulate the supply. So if I don't know how to regulate the supply, that's a culture. That is how economics works. I had a topic actually today and yesterday to speak about the economics. The economics is part of strategic relationship. Every wise person, every wise person knows how strategically I can have a collaboration with somebody who supply me fuel. Yeah, this country has got a lot of fuel. I will take it. But not by paying as much as I can pay and then get every fuel. No. I must have sufficient product which I can sell it to that country, WTO, World Trade Organizations. The no ship can bring a lot of items to UK, and the ship goes free without anything to the other country, again fill it and come. It's not a commercial activity which can run. So a country which takes a lot of items by a vessel, a ship which runs thousands of kilometers and then bring me something, I have to fill sufficient item to send it back to that country. Then only it becomes a win-win situation. And that's a shared success. So that's what is collaboration. This is how a leader has to think. For this thinking, he needs a strategic mind. He needs a wisdom and a powerful mindset. A mindset for growth. A fixed mindset. The fixed mindset is I am going to learn. I am going to get experience. I am going to share everything for everyone. I am not the selfish person. You can see a lot of civil war happened in many of the countries. That is because leaders are selfish. If anyone is selfish, they can survive for some time. They can become rich. But when challenges comes, nobody will there be with you to support. Your own colleagues who work with you will start kicking you out. So every people who had this dogma of power, they think that I am unchallengeable. They are all being challenged. So learning is looking at all the opportunities to grow, but look at all opportunities which may counter on me and develop that outlook where I take care of all the people around me so that I am a positive person. People around me also love me so much. That's what is relationship. The mindset should be a mindset of relationship. Building resilience, building perseverances, making other set of leaders around me whom I can trust. Therefore, a leader becomes a role model. After some time, he can trust. The others will work for him. So he has to be an inspiring leader, motivating leader, a role model, create vision for everybody to share. My vision has to be written down, shared across. So create a commitment for not for me, commitment for the vision which I created. It is not I love you, therefore I work for you. No. If I am working for a country, I am working for an organization, the people around me is not to love me, the people should love the organization's goal. So my vision is more important than the person as I am. So when I am out, the other person will take over with the vision. So creating a vision, inspiring a commitment, leading by examples. My goal is your goal. That is what I should spread. It is not that I am your goal. It is not whether me or you, doesn't make any difference. So continuity happens. That is what is ethical leadership. That is why in all the, you can look at most of the kings were thrown out and the relatives come into power. All fighting between their own relations happened. That's all because they don't have an ethical leadership. Ethical, the cooperation is not there. They don't understand each other. Leadership is not with confidence and building integrity, and values were not there. So the positive impact on society comes only when you understand, yes, it is not this individual which matters. The position doesn't matter. The vision and overall growth, that is more important. That is where I said balancing the profit and purpose. It is not my profit, it is the profit of everyone. I am not the organization. I keep asking somebody, when I go to schools, I keep asking, who is your master? Who is paying you salary? And most of the teachers will say, my honor gives, government gives. I said, no, it's your students who are paying you, because the students are the masters for you. People think that I am the master, they are students. No, they are paying you and you are supposed to listen to them. So I keep saying, whoever is pay you, they are the master and you are a servant. So I keep calling all the teachers that you are the servant of your master. Every student is like a king and queen. You have to salute to them and then say that, yeah, you are my guide. You should tell me what you want. I will give you that. You are serving. So that should be the part of a leadership in the changing world. It is not that I know everything, I will teach you. No, that doesn't happen. Leader is one in the changing world, adapting to the new situations, leading through the crisis. The digital transformation of today has to be part of his life. Therefore, when I go out of my seat, the next person will take and then he will put my picture there and say, he was the guiding light. I am only the torchbearer. I am taking his messages. That is what is called an acharya. The developing future leaders is the responsibility of every mentor, every leader. And that automatically happens when you have wisdom. Every day I get 2-3 calls and I evaluate them. I give them assignment, ask them to make something. What is your plan in your life? The other day I was telling, what is that you want to do in the next few days? Write down the next few months, what are you planning to do? Write it down and send it to me. If that written down document doesn't come to me, if they don't write down clearly what is that they want and what is their my intervention and what is that you expect from me, unless you can write that, I'm sure they will become vague. When they become vague, you also become vague. Just today, this is what I did. You can see my screen. I asked somebody, these are all the points which you have to send to me. Morning call was that. She's from a national institution. I said, write down. What is that your plan? Where did you go wrong? What is that you wanted to do? Where do you think I can help you? After reading that, I understood I can help in many ways, in many places. So ensuring that sort of a failure analysis, that is most essential for a future leadership. That is very, very essential in the new era, because most of the people don't understand how fast the world is moving. That is why in most of my lectures, I keep saying 3, 2, 1 world. It is not 21st century learning. It is not next generation technology. It is the third decade of 21st century in which we are living. In the third decade, we have only 6 more years to go, 5.5 years to go. If I can think about what is my sustainability, what is my organizational ability, what is my market, what are the raw material which I can get, where am I going to get my human skilled people? That is very, very rare today. I don't even get somebody who can make really something great for the organization. Where am I going to get money? Knowing these is what is my wisdom, my experience, my knowledge. If I have got this, I can transform relationship between me and the organization. I can make a business. I can make people to grow with me, and people will start loving me. And that is the mindset which is really matters. So it's a great marathon series of lectures, and I'm so happy that I got an opportunity to become part of this by the kindness of my sister. And it always, when you get a topic, you start thinking very seriously. When somebody speaks in front of you, that becomes your chain of thoughts which governs you to do that. And I enjoy listening. 5 minutes or 10 minutes, that's good enough for me to set, oh, this is my path which I have to take. So I must salute all the people. No, though I am not physically present here, I keep investing my time on the Facebook, listen sometime the live here and there. Maybe I will fast forward, because listening 4 hours is a huge job, right? So I fast forward, look at it something. So few sentences. I keep saying, when you want to read a book, I don't have to read the whole book. The first few pages and the last few pages, if the objective and scope is very clear, the synopsis is very clear, and conclusion is very clear, I'm sure you know what is the content inside, how is it developed. That is a smart reading. So I do a smart reading, right? And if somebody is not able to put the first few lines and last few lines very good, that means the content is also not good. So you should have the act of presenting in such a fashion that you give a synopsis, you give a conclusion, and get the stuff within that. Every book is written in that style. That is how people look at for pressy writing, contents writing, brief making, giving heading. All that exercise is given in academics. You're a smart person, read the first three lines, you know which is the heading to be given for the paragraph. Assume your article is not that good, that means the whole essay is not good. So that is how they select. So I spent not a lot of time. If it is in YouTube, I can fast forward 3x, I can listen. But if it is in Facebook, we have a problem. So I finish. So I am with you always. I'm sure tomorrow I'm not there, but I'm going to listen to each one of that because I know it has a lot of values. I know how much we can learn each other. It is not that what I spoke today is what is mine. It is only what I picked up from different places. We are only like a butterfly, which takes from one flower to give it to some other else. That is how the flower grows, right? So it needs to be always fertilization should happen from taking from one to another one and give it. So this is, I'm only a servant of knowledge. I'm only a servant of wisdom, servant of experience. I'm at your service at any point of time. Thank you for hosting me for last 1 month in between here and there. Namaskaram. Thank you so much.
Your mentee is something else.
No,
It's not easy to be a mentor of Elizabeth Lucas. Thank you so much. I've learned a lot. I mean, I could just personally sit down in front of you for hours and hours and listen to you and reasoning with you and learning from you. But I chose the platform where I'm not going to listen alone. We are going to listen together and learn from one another. And I'm grateful, sir, for many series or sections that you have completed on this our journey of mindset for transforming leadership, management, and relationship masterclass. I'm grateful. Tomorrow I'm gonna do a lot of vote of thanks tomorrow, but I believe, like you said, even though you are not here physically, you can also catch up with some of the videos where I'll be expressing my gratitude. I'm grateful. Yes, you can international worldwide family are grateful. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your wealth, your wisdom, your experience. What a topic! Your wealth, your knowledge, your experiences, together with all the world leaders. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you, sir. And I wish you journey mercy for everywhere you go. And we believe that we will still catch up because we still have a lot to do together, even if it is not only just masterclass and conferences. There's still a lot of ideas being dropped during this masterclass that we need to sit down and reason in and see where we can implement it. So I want to say, on behalf of Yes You Can International, Yes You Can International Academic United Kingdom, we are grateful. And for all our leaders, our patrons, and advisory board members and president, I stand on their behalf and say thank you so much. And being my personal lifelong mentor, I'm grateful. Thank you so much. Professor Dr. TPS Sasikuma from India. Thank you.
thank you.
Wow.
Recording stopped.
I'm learning, I'm eating, I'm drinking. I mean, tomorrow is also going to be a special day because from the depth of my heart, I didn't know that it's going to be like this. I just said, yes, we're going for this 31st day and 34th day of masterclass. I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know how they're going to speak. I don't know which topic. And everything just flow. All
I,
those topics,
I
even when
salute you. I salute you for the patience and the constant, the spirit of learning. I think rare are the people who can do this. I'll tell you.
yeah, thank you so much, sir.
Rare are the people. I'm blessed. I'm blessed to know you, and I'm blessed to be with
Thank
you.
you, sir.
Thank you
Thank you,
so
sir.
much.
And I've learned a lot, the energy, the support, your wisdom, your knowledge. You don't speak much, even behind the scene. You don't speak much, but the little you speak carries volume. And
Because
that's what matters.
I don't want during my lecture somebody says stop it. So I'm prepared for
But
that.
but sometimes, yes, we can give 5 minutes, 10 minutes grace. But if we don't stop, some people they can use extra 1 hour, and we are under the system. I mean, for example, when I finish here today now, I'm traveling to London to work. I don't come back home until 10 o'clock in the
I
evening.
know, I know.
Uh,
I know
and then in the
when you
morning.
message me in the midnight also I feel why are you doing this?
And then another thing is that all these speakers, trainers, mentors, sir, they are big leaders. They have big organizations. They are very busy. And still, they create time for this masterclass. And I don't want to waste anybody's time because your time, their time is so precious to me.
True.
So that's another thing. So that is why if I see that people are going on all along, we have to put, we have to stop them. Because sometimes as well, probably when they're going all along, they can be fall out of the track
Sure.
sometimes. And sometimes the rest of their talking might be just something else that is not resonable and resonate with what we're saying. So it's like wasting my time, wasting your time, and wasting their time as well, which they can use to do something else.
Sure.
So that is why sometimes I have to be a little
Tough.
bit on top of the game. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so
Right,
much.
I want to invite my great leader from Nigeria as well. I know Professor Chaplain. Are you ready for me, sir? Wonderful. I like it.
Recording in progress.
Thank you so much. He's a chaplain, and at the same time he's a pastor, and at the same time he's a president, and at the same time he's a professor. He has three